Welcome to Throttle Diaries. If you're new here, I'm in my 50s. I started riding 9 months ago, and I'm documenting what it's really like to learn motorcycling later in life. No heroics, no pretending, just honest progress and the occasional wobble. And in episode 1, I want to tell you how this whole thing actually began. Not with a glorious first ride, not with slow motion footage and inspirational music, but with me failing the CBT. So let's start at the beginning. On the island of Jersey, if you want to ride a motorbike, you don't just wander into a dealership and emerge on a 1000cc missile. There's a system, a process, a law. First you do a CBT, Compulsory Basic Training, which sounds reassuring, like someone is going to gently guide you step by step into becoming a sensible, safe, responsible motorcyclist. What it actually means is you turn up with your bike and they quietly assess whether you're a danger to yourself or society as a whole. And here's the fun bit. You have to bring your own helmet, your own jacket, your own gloves and appropriate footwear, and a bike. But apparently you're expected to already look like someone who knows what they're doing. Confidence trick number 1. The rule here is simple. CBT gives you a chance to ride a 125 for a year, and then you pass your theory test, and then a proper bike test. More on that to come in a future episode. Simple. On paper. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I booked my CBT having never ridden a motorbike in my life. Not once. Not a mate's bike, not a field bike, not even a dodgy scooter in Ibiza. Nothing. I had watched YouTube on many occasions, which in my mind basically counted as experience. How difficult can it be? I arrived confident in the way only a person with absolutely no understanding of what reality can be. I sat on the bike, looked at the clutch, looked at the throttle, looked at the gear lever, and immediately realised these people had made a terrible administrative error. Anyone else there? Teenagers, early 20s, some already riding illegally, obviously. One lad occasionally saying, "Yeah, I've been riding for years, just need that bit of paper." And me, 50-something, stiff knees, quiet panic. We start with the basics. Clutch control. Apparently you're meant to gently feed the clutch in while adding a tiny bit of throttle and releasing smoothly. What actually happened was nothing. Nothing, nothing, stall. Again, nothing, 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 stall. After 5 or 6 times, the instructor gave me that look. Not an angry look, worse, a concerned look. The sort of look doctors give you before asking about your family history. Then we tried moving off, everyone else wobbling gently. I launched like a startled horse, then stalled, then panicked, then forgot which foot went down, which, by the way, for information, your brain deletes under pressure. And when I actually did move, I was invincible and completely unsteerable. Somewhere on the island of Jersey, a small collection of trees genuinely feared for their lives. Long story short, I failed my CBT. Not spectacularly, not with fireworks, just a quiet failure. Clipboards were involved, sympathetic nods, maybe get a bit of practice and come back, which is code for please don't kill yourself on our watch. Driving home, my brain turned to 2 options. Accept that motorcycles were not for me, buy a nicer kettle, lean into middle age, or option 2, be stubborn. I chose option 2. A mate of mine stepped in, absolute legend. Early mornings, empty school car parks before everyone turned up. Just cones or Coke cans, and a middle-aged man pretending I knew what I was doing. He explained the clutch, again, slowly, calmly, like you would explain something to a confused golden retriever. And gradually something clicked. Not perfectly, not beautifully, but I could move off, stop, move off again. Tiny victories, which, when you're learning, feel massive. After a few weeks of car park chaos, I booked what was then a private CBT. One instructor, one nervous student, no audience, no teenagers. Much better. Same bike, same controls, a very different result. This time I moved off. I didn't stall immediately. I didn't accidentally try to invade France. We went round the cones, we did junctions, we did figures of eights, we did slow riding, and at some point, without realising it, I was riding. Not well, not gracefully, but riding. At the end of the day, the instructor said, "We've run out of time today, but you're ready to go on the road. Let's meet on the road on another day and see where we go." I had never been prouder of a bit of paper in my life, although I did see the previous bit of paper they'd written, which was a fairly depressing set of tick boxes around, does he have control? No. Are other people worried? Yes. Of course, that's only step one. I then had to do the road test, where they ride you round for a couple of hours, and then after that, another signed bit of paper, and you're a step forward. Then the theory test, then the proper bike test, which I failed twice. But that is absolutely for another story. So that's how my journey started. Not with a heroic first ride, not with music, but with a failed CBT, a few empty school car parks, and a very patient mate, and a stubborn refusal to quit that probably wouldn't have endured much longer. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have changed it. Because if you're watching this thinking, I'm too old, I've never done it before, I look stupid, good, welcome to the club. This channel is about starting anyway. Next episode, the tests. Life with a 125 and your first solo ride. And also discovering what road junctions are like. Pretty much emotionally complex. I'll see you then.